This grumpy furball is Bobby. He's a bobcat with only 3 legs. And he's trying to do something nearly impossible. Get back to the wild. That's where he lived until he got hit by a car. When the rescuers finally freed him, they could see his leg was hurt and rushed him to the vet for x-rays. Bobby's leg was broken in a way that couldn't be fixed. And to save his life, the vet had to surgically remove it. Bobby was really scared. He was still a young bobcat. How could he learn to do the things that wild bobcats do to survive, like climbing and catching food? He needed help in a big way, which is why Bobby's rescuer brought him to Tisha at Geaux Wild Rehab. It's a special place where sick and injured animals can get better and hopefully someday go back to the wild. But Bobby wasn't happy about being so close to people. It's not personal, it's just his wild nature. Bobcats might look like big house cats, but they're not pets. You gotta keep your distance. Tisha knew Bobby needed to start moving again, so she placed him in an extra-large enclosure with multiple levels and left him alone. But she kept the security cameras on so we can see what happened. For a long time, Bobby didn't move at all. He was like, climb and jump? With only 3 legs? I don't think so. But then, he spotted something he couldn't resist. A cardboard box. Maybe, if he was careful, it was just a little jump. Yes! Okay, maybe bobcats and housecats do have some things in common. It was a little jump, but a big boost of confidence. And soon, Bobby was doing more climbing and pulling off slightly bigger jumps. But climbing a few platforms and jumping into boxes wasn't the same as surviving in the wild. Would he ever be ready to go home? But what Bobby didn't know was that someone special was coming to help him. Betty! Betty was another young bobcat who got hit by a car and had a bad head injury. She needed time to heal too, so her rescuer brought her to Geaux Wild Rehab. She was just as thrilled as Bobby. Then, Tisha had an idea. Maybe these 2 bobcats could help each other by becoming roommates. So Tisha moved them both to a bigger enclosure, outdoors. Wait, was this a good idea? In the wild, bobcats don't usually make friends, not even with other bobcats. But Bobby and Betty were both still young. Sharing space with another animal would help prepare them for the kinds of encounters they'd face in the wild. Plus, seeing Betty climbing around might encourage Bobby to do the same. And Betty was a climber. She climbed the walls, the big tree branch. She even went to the top of the giant cat tower. Which is when Bobby realized that if he wanted to go back to the wild, he had to become a climber too. Betty's like, did you see that? But then, something Tisha didn't expect to happen happened. Betty and Bobby became friends. I know. I said bobcats don't usually make friends, but these 2 did. With each other, not with anyone else. And after 8 months, Bobby was moving around just as good on 3 legs as he did on 4, which meant it was time for him to go home. When Tisha took him out to the woods and opened his crate, he was gone in a flash. He didn't say goodbye, but he didn't growl at her either, which is as close to a thank you as you can get with a bobcat. We didn't forget about you, Betty. She went back to the wild just 2 weeks later. Who knows? Maybe they'll find each other out there. Do you want to be an animal-saving hero like the honorary Earth Rangers at Geaux Wild Rehab? You can. Download the Earth Rangers app to get started.